Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm going over the Marathon update. Now, I've been playing Marathon recently, and I've actually been enjoying it. I know I'm some of the select few that doesn't let Twitter retards in my ears tell me what I can and cannot like. But today, after playing Marathon, I saw there were some patch notes, and I just wanted to try to go over them because I've already kind of read them, and they seem pretty good, and I think this will be pretty good. But I wanted to make a video about it, so here I am annoying everyone on the internet. You're welcome, but let's begin. So the first thing they start with was the item economy. They increased the number of spawns on perimeter for med cabinets and munition crates, which I think is a good place to start, especially if you're little Timmy trying to learn this game. The first thing you should learn is to bring enough meds, and if you don't, you're just cooked from the get-go. That was my biggest complaint, was how much ammo it took to kill some things, and learning that when you first start can be annoying, because you're two reloads in and you're fully out of ammo and you've only fought a first group of USECs, that's not going to end well. Same for the meds. I was face taking those shots in the tutorial and I was about to die every 2 seconds, not realizing every time I pop a shield and take damage, it stops the shield recharge, and the health recharge heals like 20% with the really bad ones. So I think them increasing the number of spawns to kind of help the new players realize, or at least if they make that mistake, recover from it, I think that's a pretty good play, me personally. It also says they increased the starting ammo in the Mida, Cyber Acme, and Arachne's free sponsored kits. That's also another good play. You only realistically, if you got the Cyber one, you got maybe 3 spare mags. You had 60 rounds. I don't know about y'all, but if you're going against Commando and you're not using any melees, or a Commander and you're not using any melees, you're cooked. It takes so much ammo to kill the AI, and especially when I keep loading in Outpost and I'm the only one that brings a kit and my team's using free kits, I know I have to wipe an enemy team and get these guys gear, or we're going to get wiped from the first team that has all green armors because my guys have maybe 3 mags at best, and they're going to run through half of them trying to shoot a turret. But I think it's another good upgrade, and the fact that it's also the USEC Grenadiers and nerfing their rate of them dropping EMP grenades, I don't really have an issue with those guys. I'm pretty good at dodging the nades. I know they drop the regular grenades too, and the bosses that are the commanders, they have the EMP grenades, but I don't know if it's both or if it's literally just the boss USEC commanders with the purple armor and their EMP grenades. Most of the time you can sidestep them. The issue is they get real close in your face and they start dropping those nades that blow up almost immediately. That can get a little spiddicky, especially if you're running a rook with little to nothing on you. But they also made some changes overall with the enemy AI to kind of help as well. They fixed an issue where players would die instantly stepping on certain world geometry. Never happened to me, surprisingly. And they fixed an issue where the shield break effects could constantly play when you had healing over time effect and a damaging time effect on you at the same time. Yeah, I had that happen. That was pretty annoying, but I mean, it was just like a few seconds of my ears exploding. They also increased the gun range, fire, and explosions from which they can be heard. What does that mean? When you're running around the map and you got a teammate that's shooting literally everything, all the Giga Chads in purple armor know where you are and they are coming to touch your butt, so be prepared. They also made some changes to the thermal scopes. I think this is probably a good idea considering some of those snipers have a range of 200 meters, and you put a thermal scope on that, especially if you're at the Dire Marsh, you're going to be sniped from across the map by some guy you never even saw coming because he can see your outline through all that fog. Especially on Dire Marsh where there's so much fog you can't see anything, thermal scopes come in handy there, and they decided that was a little too powerful, and I'm in agreement. So if I am in agreement, I think that was a good play as well, nerfing the range on them slightly, especially the 180 meters to 100 meters. That's a good change. Now I don't have to worry about being shot from across the map by some guy who's got a thermal scope who I don't know where he is, downs me. Then I see a teammate run up to me, gets shot and downs him as well. And then I see my third teammate run up, gets shot and gets down as well. Now all 3 of us are sitting on the ground wondering why Chris Kyle's taking aim at us. No more, hopefully. The overrun, it also increased increased the default ammo capacity by 5. That's the AR that when you shot took a full mag to pull their shields off. So them adding 5 more bullets, at least you'll be able to deal some health now. That's nice. Some of those weapons that they have in the game are absolute trash, and some of them will absolutely destroy you. Them trying to buff the base ARs that take 20 bullets to feel like you do anything to where you get more ammo now, I think that's a really good play. I think it makes some of the meta weapons a little bit out of meta. Now, they did change the Rook a little bit, and I do think these are probably going to be some more good fixes for the Rook. So they fixed an issue where the backpack will be deleted when exfilling. Never had that happen to me, thankfully. They fixed an issue where the position was not being displayed on the map. I had that happen a lot, but honestly, all you gotta do is drop a ping to figure out where you are if you really don't know the maps well enough. I was kind of already playing the Rook after I hit like level 30, so I didn't really play Rook too much. So this didn't matter to me because I already learned all the maps by then. But yeah, if you're a new player and your first time, oh, I want to learn the perimeter as Rook, and you're like, where am I? And you can't see yourself on the map, that's not helpful. It's a nice bug. More reputation gain, that's always fun. Rooks will now receive the same faction representation bonuses that all resources that solo players receive. Now, I think that means if you pick up a leaf for Cyber Acme or New Cow, then like you shoot a turret. There's some things you can do where you kill players and like you execute them. That gives you rep for certain factions. I think that's what that means. You now get rep. And the Rook Shotgun will now spawn Compromised. I don't have that upgrade yet. I'm working toward it. And the fact that it did spawn Compromised explains why I keep running into the WSTR Shotgun boys that absolutely drop me. Apparently, you could just print them just by loading a Rook and getting a free Giga Chad loadout. That's really cool they fixed that. And they also nerfed the USEC health. I think this is probably one of the bigger changes because they dropped the enemy shields or enemy health by 10 to 15% and the shields of the bosses by 25%. The bosses had a crazy amount of shields. They really did. So that's a nice feel, at least a nice bit of difference. I would bring EMP grenades to rip their shields immediately because I felt like it did more than me wasting 2 mags to try to do that. But there's also just LMGs in this game that if you just hit all headshots with the heavy ammo, will stun the bosses out of existence. So it didn't really matter too much. I do think reducing the health does allow new players to get used to the feel because right now, this game's like Tarkov on steroids. You don't have a safe pocket and the AI, they may not one-tap you, but they'll hit you 5 times and you'll be screaming what's happening before you're even realizing, oh, I'm in a match. The noobs in this game, it's being thrown right out of the fire, right out of the frying pan into the fire, and by God, I think this will kind of help them. I think this will be a nice change. I still want to see it in action to see if I even notice me killing rooks different. I'm at the point where the guns I load for the most time, either 1-shot or 2-shot the AI, the basic one, so I don't really worry too much. And the blue guys, I know how to dodge. So this is going to be a help for the new players trying to learn this game that aren't going to get stomped out of existence by the Giga Chads running around with purple armor on perimeter, which, yes, does happen. Fair warning, if you're a little Timmy, perimeter, it seems like a fun place to learn, but it's a hunting grounds, and you are the victim. So there are also some new contract distance, the 20 meters to 10 meters. That is also another massive change. I don't know how many times I was trying to find a quest terminal, and I was literally just a meter off of guessing where it was and just ran by assuming I was close enough. Nope, I wasn't. Yeah, if you don't know where these quest items are and you're trying to learn for the first time and your team does not help you or they have no mics, that's going to be pretty annoying. This will help fix that for sure. They introduced a new caloric contract. Fishing using emergency crews could receive new caloric contract via audio subtitles from a long distance away. I didn't know that. That's kind of interesting. I know I've seen the ships drop down, the red drop ships. If you see those, it means someone did a quest nearby and it's spawning AI to fight them. We've been looking for that when my friends and I go hunting on Dire Marsh. We see those red drop ships. We W key because I know someone's there and they're doing a quest. So they'll probably still be in the area. Good place to get some contact. Good place to get some PvP action. I'm liking it. I've been liking it. And reduce the difficulty of the USEC commander encounter on the Traxxas contract? Really? I know which one they're talking about. It's on Dire Marsh, where you got to go to one of the relays on the right side of the map, and you hit the terminal, it spawns a commander. I mean, he's not that bad. I guess, to be fair, I play Triage a lot, and people don't realize Triage has an ability where he can activate an EMP that when he rips people's armor, it like pulses them, and you can also use his ult, and it kind of acts like an EMP. So when you rip their armor, it does more damage to them. So I use that as an offensive tool if I think I'm early enough and I think that we're not going to get into combat soon enough. So I kind of had a easy way to deal with commanders, and that's what I've been doing. So I think that this was a good change. Maybe, I don't know, to be quite frank. This never really affected me. I play a guy where I tase people from a mile away and revive my teammates all the same. So maybe this will help the noobs as well. I didn't think it was a bad contract, but I guess if you're running solo or you're playing with a random or you're playing with 2 random guys and they don't want to help you and you got to fight those commanders and the blue guys by yourself, yeah, that could probably be annoying. But this is also like a kind of a pseudo battle royale. This is Apex Legends Reborn. You really need to be pushing with your team or you're going to be losing fights quite commonly, unless you got a shotgun in close quarters and they just like to run at you like idiots. That's the only real exception here. The zones, they temporarily disable the switch access route to the Broken Wing on Outpost. Yeah, that was a good play. Basically, you could nullify everything on Outpost by climbing up one section and shooting 4 nodes that took 2 seconds to do, and then you get the best loot in the game and you could hold it too. That's a really good fix. Pinwheel has some crazy loot, and the fact that all you had to do to get in there was shoot 4 nodes and it's a bum rush to get there first, that was stupid. I think this is a good play on their part by making it to where, yes, you need to do a little bit more around the map before you can just rush to the best loot in the game and camp the entrance. It feels really stupid when they have high-level loot and everyone that's running that map is coming in with free kits and W-keying it there, or a team gets there first, gets purple armor, and then just executes everyone else coming in there. Especially if you get to some of those quests that require you to go to the Pinwheel base. Yeah, good luck getting in there with a free kit when the people with purple armor have already looted the entire place and they're watching for people trying to climb up. Yeah, I think that was a good idea to go ahead and fix that. But, I mean, this game, you don't really care about loot too much. This game kind of gets rid of gear fear. You're dying a lot. You don't have a lot of stash space, and the rooks that you can load in on can easily get money and gear. I think that has alleviated a lot of the stress of, oh, I need to wait till I have this quest to bring this kid in, because to be honest, you can run a free kit every time and wait till you find someone else and bum off them, or you can bring Mega Chad kit and still get 2-tapped by a guy with a shotgun that found it in a box. Like, it doesn't really matter too much. It will, on long range fights, be a determinant factor if they have a sniper, because some of those snipers, they will absolutely like one tap you for the most part if you're not full health on everything. And I think stopping people from being able to bum rush into outposts to get really good weapons and gears if they came in with free kits will probably make the fights on that map a little bit better. But that's also the same map where I broke a vent and was met with a guy that with double barrel staring at me that immediately dropped me on a vent I broke because he was inside camping and waiting. Yeah, that map's an interesting map whatsoever. It's kind of like the pseudo labs right now if you play Tarkov. Not quite there yet. I think Cryo Archive with the prestige keys, I think that's going to be like Tarkov where you have to use a prestige key to get in, because all the gold loot right now that for all the vendors that you need when you max rep them, I'll say they come from Cryo Archives. Yes, they can spawn otherwhere in the world, rarely, but Cryo Archives is the place to be for those. But yeah, temporary spawning the Broken Wing might take some changes. There's still other ways to get in there, so that's nice. You gotta actually spend time to figure out how to get in there besides. I saw a TikTok that said, shoot these 4 things. Now you have the best loot in the game 5 minutes in. Really cool, really cool. Rewards pass in store. Yeah, this is kind of like Bungie doing typical Bungie things. You bought the bare minimum bundle for $10. It didn't give you enough currency to actually get the battle pass. You had to buy the $20 one. So they create a problem. Now they're giving you the solution. That's a typical Bungie move. I'm a Destiny player. Believe me, I'm a Destiny player through and through. And they would do that all the time where, oh, you know, that really sucks. You need a Gjallarhorn? Well, if you pre-order the game, you get a Gjallarhorn this time. Like, they really, really ham it up on paying to win sometimes. And they're trying not to do that, but they're also more along the lines of creating problem and then giving you the solution to act like they're their saviors, when reality is they're the bumhole that gave you the problem to begin with. So they're just refixing that issue, which everyone was complaining about. I haven't even bought the Battle Pass yet. I don't really care for cosmetics for the most part. I'm not a cosmetic gamer. I'm more of a, I want to kill you and get really cool skins. I'm more of a recon armor kind of guy from Halo. Stability, fixed an issue, that rare issue that would cause dedicated servers to crash. Yeah. I've had a raid where I see my teammate crash and I type, or I hit in the comm like, yo, did he crash? And then I crashed immediately after. And then I come back and my third teammate's dead. Because for some reason, me and the other guy crashed at the same time, but not one else on the server did. There's some bugs on perimeter where you will crash. I've had it happen only on perimeter and outpost, to be fair. Dire Marsh, I've had pretty good experiences on, surprisingly. But the crashing of this game's kind of aids, because when your game crashes, you're then forced to sit through the Bungie and the Sony screens before you get the joy of pressing reconnect to hope you're still alive. I don't know if I'm just stupid and I can't find a way to skip them, but I'm spamming the entire keyboard to skip the 30-second Sony and Bungie animation that I see every time I load the game after my game crashes. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want it to crash in the first place. If it's going to be a painful experience to get back in, it's not going to be joyful at any point in the process. No thanks, pal. No thanks. You need to allow a skip button as well. That would be a way better stability fix. Let me skip the stupid Sony. I know who Sony is. They've been alive longer than I have. Everyone knows who Sony is. Everyone knows who Bungie is. If you're a gamer, you've been disappointed by Bungie more than your father's disappointed in your choices in life. Believe us, we know what they are. We don't need your animation to remind us while we're desperately trying to load back into Outpost with our Giga Chad loot while our teammates were fighting a whole other team, praying to God they're still alive and praying to God you didn't just get murdered. But you know, personal experience here. I've been playing a lot of this game and I've been enjoying it, but by God, they need some fixes and I'm liking what I'm seeing. They also fixed some general issues, fixed an issue where doors would lock, preventing players from finishing the new player intro mission. I saw an issue where a guy went in a locked room with the key, unlocked it, went inside, and then closed the door, and it relocked the door, and he got trapped in there, and his team didn't have a key. That was hilarious. Update the description on the perimeter beginning and the zone select screen. Nice. I think that just means the noobs. I think it was like level 5 or something to put you in the regular perimeter. Before that, you could get to level 5 in like 2 runs, which was kind of stupid. Fixed a crash that would sometimes occur when attempting to use an IME keyboard. I don't even know what that means. Fixed a crash that would sometimes occur when typing quickly on an IME keyboard. What is IME? Someone in the chat, tell me down below. Third-party IME crap, blah, blah, blah. Just the location of chords. Players no longer see an extended black screen loading into the map load sequence. Yeah, but now I just figured that was people that load in slower, because I've loaded in too on maps and I've been stuck there for 30 seconds not being able to move or do anything and talking with my team. So I just figured it was part of that. You either get the black screen or you load in and can't do anything. But yeah, these are some pretty decent changes. I think that Bungie, going forward with Marathon, I'm liking it so far. I want to see this game and see a little bit more of their vision to feel for what the kind of content is they're putting out. I don't think Cryo Archives comes out till after, like, I don't know if it's 3 months from now or halfway through this first season. I got conflicting information when I looked at TikTok, and that's my source, bro. Trust me, it's TikTok, bro. No one can lie on the internet. But anyways, I think this is a pretty good game. I think it's got some good hope. I've been enjoying the bones of what they have right now. I'm looking forward to more in-game. I'm looking forward to people getting better at PvP to where my teammate doesn't just like, they're not just like lambs of the slaughter running at a full purple team while I'm begging at them to please pull away because they're going to slaughter us, you know? I don't like that experience, but that was also the peak Apex Legends experience. The first like 2 seasons on Apex Legends, they were perfect. Before Ranked came out, before you had Giga Sweats that were bouncing 30 times off the wall in a millisecond, Apex Legends was amazing. And right now, I feel like Marathon is Apex Legends Reborn, and that's what I've been enjoying about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Feel free to dislike this video and call me a peanut clone as well. People say I'm a copycat clone, but clearly I'm a cactus and he's a peanut, so you can blow me from the back, buddies. But I hopefully will see you guys on Tau Senetti, something like that. I don't know. Later, gamers.